Okay, so first things first, drop in the comments how old you were the first time you saw Bob Ross make a happy little tree, just for funsies. And that's what we're doing today. We are making happy little trees for Bob Ross's birthday. But before I tell you all about the pour, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You're at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things. And yeah, it's Bob Ross's birthday, and that's super awesome. So today, GeorgiaMae, the Soaprentice, is making a very cool soap in honor of Bob Ross's birthday, and she is painting happy little trees in soap form. And this is actually a really cool design. It's a cool technique. I have never actually seen anything quite like this in the soaping world. And so I'm thinking she is going to be responsible for coining a new technique and doing the things. And it can be, Soaprentice technique or the Bob Ross technique, really. It's very cool. She has multiple things going on within a slab pour, and she is essentially going to build art with brushes and all of the things in soap. So let's go check that out. So it is Bob Ross's birthday, you guys, and here's the thing. I have no idea how I am going to do this and what I'm even going to say for 22 beautiful minutes wherein GeorgiaMae is going to show us the most amazing art to ever art. Because how do I really fully describe what it is that she's about to do? I mean, I can't. I can't do it. This is, whew, it's so good. This is such a cool pour, such an awesome idea, and I was so pumped. Actually, my sister-in-law suggested that we do this for Bob Ross's birthday. And because Bob Ross, he was actually a big deal in the lives of, myself and my brother, because my grandmother, who was this OG maker of all things, right? She taught us how to make all of the things, like all of the things, literally. It's not just, it's all of it. And for the art side, she taught us how to paint using Bob Ross, videos from PBS, or I think maybe she bought them. I don't even remember. But I remember sitting with my grandmother and her teaching us how to make happy little trees, and I sucked at it. I was terrible at it. And my brother, he did not suck at it. He was so good at it. Like, my grandmother was a very talented painter, and my brother is so much more talented in all artistic forms. And yeah, so when my sister-in-law suggested that, I went, yeah, that's beautiful. That's such a good idea. This is definitely something that we should do. Only problem is, me and happy little trees, not so much. I don't know how to make happy little trees, as I just explained. I don't know how to do that thing. I was not good with the painting thing, but the thing is, I have a GeorgiaMae, and you saw the GeorgiaMae awesomeness with the Taylor Swift The Lover house, right? Like, she's an excellent painter. And I don't know if I've shown you, I'm going to have to show you a picture that she painted of the Soap and Clay family, really, the four of us. as the I'm sorry, that's my kid's school, as the Arendelle family, as the royal family from Frozen. And she painted us in the places of, you know, Elsa and Anna and Mom and Dad and all the things. And it was extraordinary, beautiful job. So we know that GeorgiaMae knows how to soap. We also know that GeorgiaMae knows how to paint. So she's going to combine these two beautiful things into one piece of awesomeness for a tribute to Bob Ross on his birthday. Okay, so on to the pour, and I guess I will talk about the pouring as, you know, it happens. So she is doing a thin lines pour here, which is just absolutely gorgeous. One of my most favorite things in the world to make, as well as to watch being made, because just watching the beautiful swirls of color ribbon into the mold, it's very satisfying. It's awesome. So that is what she is starting out with, and she is also doing multiple pours with this. Okay, so she, in order to keep her batter fluid but still allow everything to set up inside this slab mold, because she's making a painting, right, she's going to do a couple different batches of soap to keep the fluidity where she wants it to be and allow things to set up in between times. And that is just beautiful. Just right there, that right there with those colors would be a beautiful bar of soap. And this is known as a spin swirl technique, and I love spin swirls because you get to spin things around on the counter and run the risk of really, like, you know, making a huge mess. And I like huge messes, but she is doing this to lay down the base of her whole entire painting and what everything is going to, you know, be built on top of. Really. And also that right there in and of itself, you remember GeorgiaMae's marble pour that was, you know, very cool and a very awesome wood grain? This would be a really beautiful marble soap right there. So if you're not interested in making a Bob Ross, use the colors that she used, use the technique that she used. That is gorgeous, and you've got yourself a beautiful marbling technique. Looks a lot like the Grapes of Bath as well. And so she is going to create a cool base for the, well, I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out what she's going to do. Now, if you guys hear snarfling going on in the background, I actually have both of the pups in here right now, and it's been interesting. We have Miss Penelope, who's 1. She's our 1-year-old Daniff, and we just picked up a new Daniff, Mazikeen. And I don't think I've introduced her on the channel yet, like officially. So I'll have to do that. Like we'll do the thing. I'll get her in a video in the next couple days. But that right there in and of itself, that's beautiful. Right there. It's good enough. Like, that's perfect. GeorgiaMae, she doesn't really go with good enough. And plus, this is Bob Ross. It's Bob Ross's birthday. Bob Ross is iconic. With the hair and the things and all of that. Like, he's amazing. Now, this soap batter has set up, you can just tell by the color alone, it's set up for about 30 minutes or so before she started this next layer of pouring in the black soap to make what look like mountains. And there's Miss Mazikeen growling. She really wants Penelope to play with her. And Penelope's just not too sure about this new pup yet. They'll get there. They'll be best of friends soon enough. And these mountains look super epic, and they will probably set up for a little bit before she does anything detail-y on the mountains themselves, for sure. But in the meantime, she's going to move on to another step in the building of the landscape, which will probably be some grass and whatnot. But look, also that right there, that's good enough too. That's beautiful art. It's so good. Now, GeorgiaMae also loves Bob Ross. I mean, I don't know if I said this, but the Soaprentice is also very much into Bob Ross. She has happy memories of Bob Ross from when she was a kid. And before school or whatever, she would be, or while her brother was at school, maybe before she was old enough to be in school, she would sit and watch Bob Ross painting videos with her dad before it was time to go pick up her brother. And then it would be time to go pick up her brother. And so she said that she never got to see the end, like the end of the Bob Ross painting. So to this day, I don't think she's ever actually seen a full Bob Ross, you know, painting in its full completed state. But this was, I mean, my grandmother instilled our love of making and artistry and all the things in my brother and I, and GeorgiaMae's dad did that for her. And I mean, to that, good job, Dad, because she's a very talented artist. So I'm glad that she has and continues to build with this passion, because she's great. And I mean, how many people can say, hey, I made art in soap, right? Like, all soap is a form of artistry, sure, but look at me, I made a painting out of soap. I painted soap. I made a painting with soap. That's not, oh, I know, it's exciting. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh, yes. See, and I love watching the excitement that comes from even, you know, her gloves being shown or whatever and doing her thing while she's painting, while she's making soap, because it's fun. It's showing that she's having a good time. And having a good time in the soap shop is a requirement, really. Once it stops being fun, well, we stop doing it. And it hasn't stopped being fun yet. So this is fun to watch. Now, the lower level there of the green and the black, that's set up enough to allow her to pour over it, and so it will not cover the entire thing. There's something for this more fluid batter to cling to in places, and that is going to create really cool dimension to the soap itself, which is awesome. That already looks like an oil painting. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, I mean, doing something like this in soap form, it is very important that you pay attention to the different, you know, batters and the fluidity and the thickness of everything as far as, you know, your trace or whatnot goes, because you get to create cool things like this, again, with the texture and the doing of the things and really layering colors onto each other to create a very cool landscape. Now, this looks like it's the makings of a tree, and let's see if I'm right. And oh yeah, I'm totally right. And she's making the happy little tree movements right now. I remember being taught this in a Bob Ross video, how to use the brush to make the happy little, she's literally using that technique, and that's amazing. Aw, this is so good. Look, she made a happy little tree, you guys. That's so beautiful. I think we're going to zoom in for the next one, because, you know, we should get closer to really see the artist in action and all of her awesomeness, really, because this is just legitimately awesome, right? She's painting soap. She's Bob Rossing it. Now, did you see how the green, obviously, that's still fluid. She poured that pretty early on. But or she poured that most recently, but the black that she poured, you know, a while ago, there still is some movement to that soap. And so that's good, because it allows you to kind of get the actual, oh no, oh, yeah, no, that's my life, sister. And it's always the black that I drag across the surface of my slab molds to create a mess, really. But, you know, GeorgiaMae is not going to create a mess. She's going to create a frickin' tree. She will turn it into a tree, which seems to me that that's something that Bob Ross would also have said in his videos. You know, you make a mistake, it's not a mistake. We're just going to turn that, guy into a happy little tree. We'll turn that little spot into a happy little cloud. We'll turn that one into a happy little flower. Bob Ross was epic. He was like the happiest guy, and just so chill and, you know, awesome with his teaching style. He was awesome. And the big hair, my God, that guy was cool. And so yeah, it looks like she's decided that she's going to go ahead and put all of the tree trunks down first, and then do the stippling of the tree, you know, branches afterwards. But look at that tree on the right. Do you see, like, because of the fluidity of the batter and, you know, how thick it was, I would say it's like a thin medium trace there. It has cool depth to it. It looks, I mean, look at that. There looks like there's shadowing or shading, and that's very cool. I love that. What else I love is that the puppies are actually, you know, next to me right now, legitimately playing, which is super cool, and that's making me very happy. And I want to say that it has something to do with the poor, because Bob Ross just has a way about him of making everything, you know, oh, gonna do some texturing like that. Just sort of relaxing everything, and you're having a good time with art, which is something that I really experience. Like art, I don't have a good time with it. It's very stressful. And with soap art, I usually always have a good time. It's very rarely stressful. So I guess that is my medium. George's medium is all the mediums. It's a thing. But yeah, no, this is Bob Ross in and of himself is pretty cool, don't you think? Like how, I mean, because like he passed away long before GeorgiaMae was even born, right? Like a decade before, maybe. I don't know. I don't exactly remember. I don't know. He was a kid. I was a kid when he died, and GeorgiaMae is a kid now. I mean, she's not. She's a grown up, but you know, whatever. So, but yeah, it's Bob Ross is just it's enduring. It's Bob Ross. It's like a I can't believe that I'm sorry, I'm just zoned out on the beautiful making of the happy little trees. So I'm completely spacing out the person who I love and can't remember their name. Mr. Rogers. Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, two amazing human beings that just exist in the world, and we were blessed with their, you know, existence for a time, and they bettered the world around them, just like GeorgiaMae does with everything that she does. Oh, she's getting all fancy with the trees up there. We're gonna make them kind of, yep, you got some like feathering going on. I feel like I should have had her actually do the voiceover for this and really talk about what she was feeling and thinking and doing here. Were you stressed out? Was it a thing? I don't find that she would have been stressed out with this. You know, art is very much her therapy. She enjoys it a lot. And so I think for the Taylor Swift box, the Lover House, she had some very stressed out moments though. But with this, I don't know, she seems to be taking it like a professional and doing the thing without any real problems at all, which is delightful. Much like these happy little trees, they are so delightful. That's, god damn, GeorgiaMae, you are so, GeorgiaMae is my favorite. Like, I have a lot of favorites in life, but she's definitely one of them. She's a big one. And I mean, just look at this. Look at her artistry. She'd make Bob Ross proud. That is legitimate. I just, oh my god. Yeah, so the Bob Ross phenomenon, it's amazing how it has been so enduring. And, you know, also, so is Mr. Rogers, and, you know, so is Sesame Street. I just think everything that PBS touches turns to, becomes just a beloved thing in life. Multiple generations, at least 4 generations, are now celebrating and having been taught cool painting techniques by Bob Ross. And I mean, GeorgiaMae is taking the Bob Ross thing to an entirely different level though. She's taking painting to an entirely different level. She's taking soap making to an entirely different level with this slab of soap. Because, I mean, my god, look at that. That's, she's combined painting, ladies and gentlemen. You know, oil painting, let's say oil painting. She does watercolors a lot. I don't know how much she actually dabbles with oils, but oil painting, and you're working with soap, which is made out of oils, and she's combining oil painting and soap making. And Bob Ross, she is changing the game and making, she's got a whole new pour here. She's got a new technique, right? I mean, that's not to say that she's the first person to make a painted soap, because I'm certain there has to have been somebody who's done this, right? Surely. But to this level, I've never seen it. I have never seen it. So I'm going to go with the Soaprentice is creating a new technique. Now we just need to figure out something to name it, right? Because landscape soap is out. It's been done. It's in a different format. And, you know, I mean, so many soap techniques are, I mean, they have the brush embroidery soap, right? That's kind of cool. But this is oil painting soap, right? And oil painting soap, GeorgiaMae, and all of the tips and tricks and all of the things that she did to allow for such fluid batter, or the proper consistency of batter, because the white here, it's not fluid, but she doesn't want it to be fluid for this, because she's painting on some details and some shading into the mountains in the background. And so you don't need an overly fluid batter for that. In fact, that would be a terrible idea. Yeah, all of the tips and tricks that she came up with to do this will now be hers, and she can have her own technique. And that's a big deal, you guys. That's nothing to sneeze at, to have your own soap making technique. I mean, look at her go. She's going to be on Amy Warden's Soap Challenge, teaching a class as the, you know, expert soap maker person any day now. Amy Warden, just contact me. We'll make it so. She can teach one of your classes, one of your challenges, because, oh my gosh, as far as artistry goes, there's just, GeorgiaMae can teach people a lot. And that's really funny, because she sort of believes that she has nothing to teach in the world, and I think she thinks that because she's kind of young. But look at that. You can teach that. You just did a Bob Ross. Oh, and you're going to add some little texture to make little clouds in the finished product, and that's cool. Yep, that is amazing. That is a freaking Bob Ross painting, complete with happy little mountains and happy little trees and happy little birds and all of the things in soap batter, my friends. That's what she did here. Oh, and she's not done. She's going to keep going. What do we... Oh, yeah, no, see, that set up long enough that she can do some really cool sculpting into, you know, the grass and the greenery beneath the tree line. And that's so good. Oh, my goodness. I've mentioned a couple times that you need a GeorgiaMae in your life, right? You need a GeorgiaMae in your life. Because, look, this is what GeorgiaMae can do. She did the thing. And this is going to be put in the oven to be C-popped, so we get no soda ash on top of it. And yeah, let's move on to the cut. Yes, look at that. That is amazing. And when I say move on to the cut, I'm not cutting this. Are you a crazy person? I would never cut this. That's art, my friends. That is existing in its perfect whole form right there forever. Like, that is beautiful. Look at that. And you see the texture from the clouds and the sparkly bits going on and all of the beautiful shading from the sky. That is art. The raised portions of the trees, and it provides wonderful shading for the whole thing. And she definitely used Bob Ross's happy little tree movement with her brush with the whole thing. And the bird, she likes birds. She's really into birds. And yeah, that is art. That is going to be put in a frame on the wall in the soap shop. That is never being cut. That's day 210. Happy birthday, Bob Ross. GeorgiaMae just gave you an epic tribute in pure GeorgiaMae perfection style.
Tell me that wasn't the most amazing thing that you've ever seen. Like, that was beautiful. That is art. Like, Soap in and of itself is already art. It's chemistry and art. It's science plus art equals magic. That's one of the big themes that go on in the soap shop for sure. But this takes it to a completely different level. And yeah, like amazing. I am completely blown away by this. If you are interested in the soap, you can't have it. It will not be available for sale at soapandclay.com. No. This is being framed and put on the wall or put on a stand on the wall. It's art. I would never cut this up, and I am going to display it proudly forever. So yeah, that was amazing. And yeah, tell GeorgiaMae down in the comments also how awesome she did, because she's always good at all of the things, but this is just really taking one of her biggest passions, the art world, and combining it into, you know, her job, the soap world. And anytime she does that, it's always beautiful, but this really does, it takes it to a new level completely. So way to go, Soaprentice. I'm super proud of you, as always. If you are interested in more soapy antics, you should subscribe to the channel. GeorgiaMae and I do all kinds of crazy stuff all of the time. So yeah, we do daily content. We would love to have you as a sudser. Come back, do the things. It'd be awesome. Click the word. Thank you. For those of you who are subscribed, thank you for being subscribed. You are, as always, amazing and awesome human beings, and I'm sure glad I have you in my life. Yeah, that does it for me for today. I hope you guys had a good time for Bob Ross's birthday. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.